Welcome back to the Next 100. I'm your host, E. Lincoln. Let's get back into the show. Now, last week we talked about reporting the police. We talked about reporting the police for bad police stops, any type of bad interaction with police. We talked about recording it with your phone so you can get the badge number and the name of the police officer. We talked about how to go on the internet and write the report, how to download a copy of the internet of that report and print it out. You know, you can download it to a flash drive, take it to the library, print it out, take it to a FedEx, print it out, take it to a friend's house, print it out, and send a copy to the mayor, the city council, the city attorney, the state attorney, your state representative, the federal justice department, and the president of the United States, so we can establish a paper trail of bad policing. This week we're going to talk more about that, and we're going to talk more about what goes into policing. A lot of police departments have quotas, everyday quotas, so police can get a bonus in their check. And these quotas is what's forcing the police to do things they might not normally do. They might not normally pull people over if they don't have a monthly quota of tickets they have to give. They might not pull people over at night if they don't have a nightly quota to how many people they can pull over for drunk driving. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, it's 5. The quota is 5 arrests per night for drunk driving, and you can get a bonus. I don't know what it is in your city. You got to check your city. Most cities, most police departments have quotas. With these quotas, they get to lock people up more. And when I said it come from the top, you got your state legislators are signing deals with private prisons to keep the private prisons at least 80 to 90% full. So if your state legislature is signing a deal with the prison companies to keep them full, then the business of the state is to lock up the citizens. And if that's the business of the state, the majority of the citizens that will get locked up is poor people. Poor people in rural areas, that means poor white people, and poor black people, Mexicans, Latinos, people that can't fight, basically, people that don't have relatives that's in the Justice Department. And that's also part of policing. So we got to send our kids to school for things that involve in law enforcement, for security, and lawyers, judges. It's a good idea to send your kid. If your kid don't want to go to college, send them to the military for 4 years. It'll give them structure. It'll give them discipline. They'll meet people from other states, so it'll widen their way of thinking, and they'll do a little travel. You never know. They may make it into a career. But if you're gonna send them to school, if you're gonna send them in for military school, make sure you tell them you wanna make sure you talk to their recruiter with them. So y'all can get the information on how to get them into officer training school. So, why just go to the military when you can go to the military to be an officer? We got to think big all the time. For those black millionaires, for our actors and our athletes that got the millions and billions of dollars, they should be opening up private prisons. Because with a private prison system, the rules are loose and you can really run it how you want. So if black people started working together to open up private prison systems, we could demand that all the prisoners get a degree. If you got more than 4 years, you should leave out of prison with a degree and a skill. You know what I'm saying? So we can teach all our prisoners business. Take them to school for business and international trading. So we'll learn so we can know how to import and export. You see what I'm saying? We got to think big. If you want to lock me up, then I want to get involved in you locking me up so I can stop you from locking me up. You see what I'm saying? See, most of our entrepreneurs are in jail. That's all the dope dealers. They in jail for running a business, an illegal business. We got to get involved in the police. We have to have a police chief that believe in black unity, not a police chief that just believe in policing. You know what I'm saying? We have to have more police officers. So we need more of our kids to become police officers. See, that blue blood only run white. You see what I'm saying? Only our competition really care about the blue blood. They don't care if you black, you're not blue blood. You're just a black police officer. That's all. They just looking at you as invading their space. Well, I look at white people, our white police officers in my city as invading my space. My city too big. You know, if you stay in a black city, your city and it's majority black, then the entire police department should be black. There should be no white people on the top of the police commandment in your city. That's what keeping the mayor black and keeping the city council black, keeping the city attorney black. That's where all that come in at. That all that involves policing. The mayor and the city council can help set up a grant fund for the for people to start black-owned businesses in the city. They can do that if the people demand that of them when you go for your vote. We can't continue to sit down and just let things happen to us. We have to think bigger than what we're thinking right now. Police will continue to harass us and kill us until we start to fight back. And the only how to start to fight back is to unify under just the color of our skin. Who cares what religion you are, man? I don't care about that. Half the time you spit something from religion, you can counter it with black history anyway. So you keep your religion. I'm going to keep my black history. And I hope everybody keep that black history going. Read black history books. The Indian Wars, oh my God, that ain't nothing but black history. Remember that the Native Americans were black. So whenever you read anything about the Native Americans, you got to remember they were black. All these white Native Americans, they are called $5 Indians. Because when they was signing Native Americans to the Native American roster to give them the land, white people would pay $5 to get on the list. $5 Indians, man. That's all they are. You gotta know the history, man. That's what black history is all about. If you don't know the history, you wouldn't even know nothing, man. You wouldn't know that a black man came up with the first stoplight in America and in Europe. You wouldn't know that. The first one in Europe blew up because it used gas. Europe ain't start another traffic light system until like 1929 when electricity popped off. But you wouldn't know that if you ain't studied black history. So every time you stop by the light, thank a black man. You wouldn't know that it was a black-owned car company because you don't study black history. That's why you don't know that the more black police we have, the less bullshit in our city we have. You don't know that. A lot of people in Detroit, they don't know how crime went down and police and the police brutality went down in Detroit when the black mayor took over. You don't know that. L. Brooks Patterson in Oakland County, he been trying to take control of Detroit since the 70s. You wouldn't know that because you don't study Detroit history. So of course you want to vote for the white guy because you ain't know the last time it was a white mayor, they had this thing called stress. And stress was a bitch on black people. But you wouldn't know that because you ain't studied. If we don't stick together, share information, man. Oh my God, don't you know it ain't gonna go right. You can treat in America, it's legal to treat your prisoners as slaves. The only reason why they pay the prisoners is so they can say they ain't slaves. But they don't pay the prisoners minimum wage. They pay them way less than minimum wage. You don't believe me? Ask somebody that been to prison how much they got paid for the job they did in prison. That's how much they got paid an hour. And when they tell you, you're going to be like, oh, that's just so we won't say they slaves. You can always say, well, we paying them. Nah, you ain't paying them. You really ain't paying them. That's slave labor in prison. Then the first thing that white folks always say when they want to get on, when they want black people to vote for them is, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to do something about crime. Remember, whenever you hear our competition talk about crime in our neighborhood, they talking about locking us up. No matter what you think, the man is always the strength of any race. Every race on this planet, the man is the strength. And the black race, they trying to convince us that we don't need men. They trying to convince the women that they don't need men. I've talked to black women. They don't really teach they black boys the difference between boys and girls. That's why a lot of these black boys coming up to be big boys with their ass showing. They go from 0 to 100. They don't want to read. They know everything. You can't tell them nothing. Them women traits. How can I get my black boy in the police force when he acting like a girl? We have to stick together to protect each other. And protecting the black man is I can't tell you how important that is. When women start fighting, when our competition, when white women start fighting for women's rights, it was 10 years before black people were released, was freed. Think about it. So when you fighting for women's rights, you fighting for white rights. What about black rights? Your little black boy. Police fucking over your little black boy. The judge is fucking over your little black boy. The prosecutor fucking over your little black boy. Will you not fight for him? Will you not teach him who he is? Will you not go to school for law? Will you not go to school for security? Will you not go to school for things that will help the black neighborhood? Help protect us from the police, from the justice system. Where's all my vets at? Where's all my vets at? Y'all know how to open militias. Y'all know how to run it. Open them up, run it. I want to see a militia that demands two weekends out the year and that demand 2 weeks out the year and 1 weekend a month from these kids. 2 weeks for summer camp, 1 weekend out the month for a monthly camp. Just to train them how to fight. Just to train them to have pride within themselves. To train them how to shoot guns. To train them military minded way of thinking. We have to stick together. And see, these militias is important because it'll teach us and it'll bring out who goes into the law enforcement business and who don't. The more you expose your kids to law enforcement, the more you expose your kids to black history, the more you expose your kid to understand that black folks got to get together, got to stick together. We can take over the police departments and our politics in our cities and make the cities safer for us. But first, we got to put this paperwork down. We got to put these reports up. We got to start our own businesses. We got to demand something more from our vote. They think they got us fooled. They think they got us tricked. They think we're nothing, and they think they got us thinking we're nothing. I don't know what more can somebody say. I mean, if you got something to say, you can always hit me at Facebook.com, TheNxtOneHundred, or Twitter, TheNxtOneHundred. We can talk about it. We can always talk about it. We can come up with some type of plan. But right now, we got to stop these police from beating on us and disrespecting us. And the best way to do that is report them. Let's go over it one more time. When you get pulled over by the police, do not raise your voice. Do not get mad. Do not answer questions. If your license is tight, if your insurance tight, if your registration is tight, you're going to be all right. Keep your car clean at all times. Don't have a bunch of stuff on the floor. You see what I'm saying? Because that gives them probable cause. Probable cause is just another way of saying get out your car. You know what I'm saying? If you feel frightened, call 911 and get the duty shift officer out there to do something about that. Turn your phone on, record. You need the badge number and you need the name of the police officer. Record that. Set up your record system to go directly to your cloud system. That way, if the cops snatch your phone and try to erase what you recorded, it's in the cloud and you still got a copy of it. When you get home, always remember, be quiet. Don't argue with the cop. If the cops keep asking you questions, just say, I don't answer questions. Just tell them by law, I don't have to answer questions. That's it. Go quiet on them. Just stop talking. You see what I'm saying? If you stop talking, then he ain't that cop ain't got nothing else to do. It's on what you gonna do now? Cause I'm not saying nothing else. You got my license, you got my registration, you got my insurance. What more do you want from me? You fishing. You want me to start arguing. You want me to get mad. You want me to start yelling so you can pull me out my car and physically harm me. That's what they want. Don't give them what they want. They train for this. You got to understand, they train for this. They train for this in their militias. They train for this in their little groups that they have. They know how to get you off your rock. So you got to stay on your rock. And once you get away from them, once you got that recording, then remember, we're going to make copies of it and we're sending it to the mayor, the city council, the city attorney, the state attorney, the state senate representative, the federal justice department, and the president of the United States. We're creating a paper trail. A paper trail, people. Because we cannot continue to let them engage us and harm us these ways and disrespect us when they talking to us. The cops know they racist. They know what they doing is wrong. If all your paperwork is good and you be quiet and hold back your anger, you will go home. Ain't nothing you can say to stop a racist cop from violating your rights. But if you report them, then you done did something. You done took the playbook into your hands now. You done took some power back into your hands and you applying that power. And ain't nothing like paperwork in America to show your power. I don't answer questions. We cannot continue to go down the path we're doing. We have to put our kids in school for security, law, put them in school for policing. We have to, as parents, we have to lead. We can't follow our kids. We have to lead our kids. And if we want our next 100 years to be successful, we have to lead them into career fields and into a train of thought of unity and black supremacy so that they know that their whole purpose is to protect black people. And the only how to protect black people is to get involved, to get educated, to open up businesses, to get involved in a community organizing, to get involved in the police department, to get involved into politics. Religion don't matter. The only thing that matters is the color of our skin, baby. Either you in or you out. But you can't be both. You can't be both. I'm your host every day. This is the Next 100. And until we meet again, if you feel you at the end of your rope, tie a knot, keep hanging. And remember, Black history is life.